Konta meets victory and defeat with the same outward display of resolute positivity, making it difficult to know sometimes what she might really be thinking. What can be discerned with absolute clarity, however, is that she will head into the busiest part of the season no longer a top 20 player and without either of the 2 titles she won last year. The second of those was lost late on Monday, when she was beaten in the 4th round of the Miami Open, only managing to win just 3 games after taking the first set against Venus Williams, who will turn 38 by the time Wimbledon starts. Since making the last 4 at the All England Club last year, the British number 1, who next week will fall from the top 20 for the first time since June 2016, has a match record of 10-12. That is what she will carry into next week's WTA Tour event in Charleston on America's green clay, prior to making the long journey to Osaka, where she will lead Britain's women into their Fed Cup promotion playoff against Japan. "I definitely would like to go there to be involved with the group that gives us a shot at maybe getting a World Group home tie for the first time in 25 years, she confirmed after the defeat to Williams. Konta deserves a lot of credit for making the journey there for a 2-day match, one that it seems the Japanese number 1, Naomi Osaka, is unlikely to mirror. Her commitment to the GB cause is impressive, especially as the burden upon her is heavy. Heather Watson's career continues to flatline and GB number 3 Naomi Brody refuses to play for her country, due to an ancient feud with the Lawn Tennis Association. Konta plows a lone furrow for GB near the top of the women's game, and the scrutiny that comes with that adds to the pressure she places on herself. She inferred after losing to Williams that the back issue she was treated for on court had a stress-related element to it. There was an admission that she let her mind get clouded by the match they played in the Miami semi-final a year ago, which she won en route to the title. "I think the stress I'm talking about is more of just my ability to play the match on today, and without the thoughts of last year or without the thoughts of basically any external things," she said, making clear the back was not a serious problem. There was certainly evidence of that look of near panic across her features, a familiar one that she seemed to have banished during her rise to the world's top 5 last year. It had not been in evidence during the first 2 rounds of her title defense, but here it was again when Williams, as you would expect for one of her caliber, refused to subside. The result was that the veteran American, who had played nearly 3 hours the previous day, romped to victory over the last 2 sets. There was also the sense, again, that when Konta's aggressive brand of first-strike tennis began to result in a surfeit of errors in tricky conditions, that she could not adapt or produce anything different from hard, flat ground stroking. She is hardly alone in that in the women's game, and it must be difficult to change when this is a method which has carried you to heights that nobody predicted a few years ago. Konta herself feels that she is rebuilding after a bad end to last season, when she unraveled and lost 5 straight matches in a row. "Positivity is her default setting. Obviously I finished the year in a different position with the amount of wins that I had under my belt, so I definitely think I started this year with a different challenge. Compared to where I started, I actually feel very positive with my improvement and with the level I feel I'm producing more and more. I really enjoyed coming back here as this experience playing as a defending champion. It's a nice privilege to have. I'm actually quite happy with my performance here and I still feel I'm heading in the right direction. The clay is not her best surface, but also affords a break from much in the way of expectation. She remains the best of British and is likely to be so for a long time, although there are at least some indications from lower down the rankings that a more promising generation of young GB women are emerging.